This is an Order and Chaos matchup. It's Titan Transnational, more specifically Titanmodernism versus MaxX deck. Now, don't be fooled by the looks of the IDs. It might seem like we're experimenting around, but these decks are actually rather tuned and are quite competitive. This is actually something that I'm comfortable bringing to a store championship. This Titans Modernism deck. I think it will catch a lot of people off guard, and most people don't really know what to do when you can never advance an Atlas, and suddenly you have R&D tutors. It's very powerful. Now, my opening hand is nothing stellar at all, and there's nothing too good about it, except the fact that it has two pieces of stopper ice. That's the only good thing. They are pretty expensive to res, but I'll keep it only because I have two stopper ice. I've been running my deck through many simulations on Netrunner DB, and almost always I find myself with one or even zero stopper ice. So even though this opening hand has no economy, I'm going to let it go. Hopefully I'll find some economy later, because there's nothing worse than not having ice and getting rampaged on, or your centrals getting rampaged on by a keyhole or a siphon or whatever it is. So first click, he runs HQ. I'm not going to rest. I'll take the risk here. If he hits my snare, I'll be happy. If he does not, if he hits the high risk investment, then, well, that's the risk I'm taking. I don't want to show him my ice because he could be running a count siphon. Then he runs R&D. This time I cannot rest because it's a Grim. I chose to keep the enigma in my hand because once I draw an agenda, I want to quickly score it in my remote. He's not running inside job, so yes. Now I look at what he installed, a Joshua B. This instantly telegraphs his strategy. He's playing a count siphon. I need to defend against a count siphon. So I need to be prepared for that. I don't think he will use Joshua B because I could be running Scorched Earth. I would be quite surprised if he does. I think he's just installing it to accelerate, to have the option of accelerating his game. Or either that, or he's waiting for a New Angela City Hall to get rid of the tag that will come from Joshua B. So I try to get a remote started so I can quickly pump out my high risk investment as soon as I can. He does use the Joshua B. Very interesting choice. I think he feels comfortable because he has I've Had Worse, some combination of I Had Worse and Plus Creed, and I don't know. Anyway, he installs Ether with his first click using Retrieval Run, and I realized I should have looked at archives. I haven't been checking archives. That's something I should be doing against Max. It's very inconvenient in Octagon, but I need to do that against Max because I need to know what kind of deck I'm up against. So he takes a credit and then plays a count siphon. I can't stop him. Not good. So I rest the wall static. It's not going to keep him out, and the worst thing is he'll get 4 credits times 2, 8 credits off the back of it. And it looks like he's going full tank me mode. He is taking the risk that I don't have Scorched Earth in hand, and he's bloody right about that. It's too early in the game to have double Scorched Earth. So yeah, he basically siphons me down to 0, and there's no defense I can impose against that. So he draws up a card, and with his last click he deja vus a siphon. I don't know what to do against that. Oh no, he retrieves I've Had Worse. Good choice against Wayland. So yes, now I know I cannot Scorch him, even if I had the Scorches. So what I do here, I start HQ because I know the repeated siphons are coming in, and he hits Joshua B and begins rampaging on my R&D. Then he runs my HQ. Well, he cannot get an access because he has to break with Ether, so I let him through. In the end, he installs a Utopia shard instead. That is very bad news. He draws up a card for his third click, and his last click is running archives. Again, there's nothing for him to access. He installs a Hades shard. That is horrible, horrible news. I can't really deal with Hades and Utopia shard. So I take 2 credits and destroy the Joshua B. He's definitely going to attack float, and I don't want him to get 5 clicks every turn. So this sets my tempo very far back, which means gives him the room to retrieval run his keyhole and keyhole me to death. This Supermodernism deck does not run Jackson Howard, so when I saw the Scorched Earth land in my heap, I knew it was game over. I basically resigned. I played my anonymous tip. I still don't see a single event-based economy. No hedge fund, no restructure, no beanstalks, no sweet sweets, even though I played 2 sweet sweet in this deck. Nothing at all. So I'm forced to discard some cards, including my agenda. And yeah, he gets 3 keyholes and wins the game off that. There's no need to watch anymore. I sped this video up big time. So, was I unlucky? No. Why? Because this deck is just not equipped to deal with Siphon Lock, and Siphon Lock will become a thing since Order and Chaos is out. Oh man, that hurts so much. And the worst thing about Siphon Lock is that previously Siphon Lock used to be something very difficult to achieve when, as playing Supermodernism, you have an easier time keeping the runner out of HQ. Now with Ether out on the loose, most of the Wayland Ice, all the binary ice I'm running is no match for Ether, costing only a couple, 2-3 credits at most to break. Enigma costs 1 to break if you don't mind losing the click. Wall Static costs 2 to break. Ice Wall costs 1 to break. Quandary also 1 to break. All these are not good ice against account Siphon, and once I get Siphoned down to 0 credits, there is no recovery, even though half my event economy can be played from 0 credits or 1 credit. And that is a very painful part about this deck, that is having to deal with account Cypher Ether. I think that will be a powerful archetype in the coming Store Championships, and this is one thing that's holding me back from playing this Wayland deck properly. That is such a pity, because this deck is otherwise really, really good. I really had the impression that it would be unstoppable at Store Championships. Clearly not. This needs some refining. I don't know what to do though. It looks like Astrobiotics is still the more reliable solution because you have Sand Sensitivity Grid and Pet Campaigns, both of which can be res, along with Daily Business Show, to prevent, or rather to mitigate the gain that the runner gains from account Siphon. So unfortunate that Wayland doesn't have these tools, which are so essential in this meta. Do I bring Astrobiotics back to the table? You tell me. Thanks for watching and happy night running. Goodbye.